Hello. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of an intro to the main bulk of the video. As you can see by the title, this is a dog that I worked with who was extremely reactive. The video you'll see is from the second session. The first session, we didn't do any filming. It wasn't really appropriate, and really I needed to observe and just start testing the water with a couple of methods of how we were going to sort this problem out. Now, a lot of people, if they saw this dog, who I've got a little bit of a soft spot for, because when you see a dog transform the way that she has, and you see them become a happy dog, it really, really makes it all worthwhile. So first session, she wasn't very happy to be there, let's say. Very, very reactive, as reported, to everything. Cars, people, cyclists, you name it. And they didn't have to necessarily be particularly close. Now, let's say a lot of people would have looked at this dog, and what they would have seen is a big, aggressive German Shepherd. Now, as a behaviourist and observing her, what I saw was an extremely nervous and timid girl that just needed to be given some reassurance and some leadership to sort this reactivity out, which in 99% of cases, reactivity is just fear, it's nervousness. And by being able to show a dog that we're in charge and nothing bad's going to happen and you don't need to worry, we can get past that reactivity. So the wind became absolutely horrendous, so I've just waited until I've got back to the car at the end of the dog walk, just to carry on with what I was saying. So this dog, this is a dog that's been failed, and not by its owners. It's been failed by previous attempts by trainers, behaviourists to try and resolve this problem. It obviously hasn't worked. The problem being is that it's been positive only methods, positive only trainers. Unfortunately, with reactivity, a lot of the time that's not going to be an effective way to sort it out. We've had the first session. Again, it was more of like a probing, observing, almost like a consultation. Tried a few methods. Did have a meeting with another dog at the end, which was okay. It was an improvement, but it wasn't anywhere near where we wanted to be. So I've had to have a think about the methods that I'm going to use. Now, collar and lead, with the exercises, with instilling some leadership, using the methods that I use, that are very successful. Collar and lead, it wasn't an effective way of communicating with this dog. She wasn't receptive to it. Went over to the slip lead, which is normally a very effective way. Again, wasn't particularly receptive to that. So then looking to what other tools have I got in my toolbox, decided that a prong collar was going to be probably the best way to progress this. Now, I don't want to go too much into prong collars because they are their own subject. The name prong collar, yeah, it sounds horrendous. They look horrendous. People will tell you that they are horrendous, that they are dangerous, that you hurt dogs with them. All I'm going to say is, do your own research, watch some videos on YouTube, watch ones where people are pro them, watch ones when people are against them. What you'll tend to see is the people who are against them just outright say, yeah, dangerous, horrible, barbaric, but don't really give any sort of reasoning or evidence, whereas the people that are pro them will show you, give you examples, explain. Yes, if used incorrectly, you could hurt a dog, but you could hurt a dog on a slip lead. You could cause tracheal damage. You could hurt a dog with a collar. And I think a lot of the times when you've seen prong collars where they've caused damage or haven't resolved the problem, it's because they're not used properly and they're not fitted properly. They are not a device to drag a dog around on. If you watch my hands in the bulk of the video, the correction is on, off, and it's so minimal. Watch my hands and watch the body language of the dog. That's not a dog that's being hurt or having pain inflicted on her or is in an uncomfortable situation. But this was the tool, and it's a training tool. It's not something that you want your dog to be on permanently for the rest of their lives, but it's a training tool. And it was the tool that was right for her. It was the piece of equipment that enabled me to open up that channel of communication with her to a point where she'd say, oh okay, right, I understand that. She wasn't receptive to a collar, she wasn't receptive to a slip lead. Having more tricks in your box, escalating it, the prong collar, we started getting the results that we wanted, and we were able to communicate with her. Now, prong collars, they're not right for every scenario, and they would never be the go-to piece of equipment, purely because it's just not necessary. Not because they are an extreme tool, they're just not always necessary. For me, I have a few criteria. So it tends to bigger dogs, reactivity, sometimes extreme sort of lack of recall and extreme pulling, but only ever on bigger, powerful dogs where they could get you or themselves into a dangerous situation. You know, if you've got a reactive dog, it doesn't know how to behave, it doesn't know how to deal with a situation in front of it, which that's all reactivity is, then they slip that lead and they bite somebody, then your dog is going to the vets, and it won't be your dog for much longer. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. The second part of the video, you'll see that I bring my dog Florence out, and I use her as a role model dog because she's an adult dog. She's very calm, she's very well behaved, and she gives off great energy to the other dog, non-threatening. She doesn't hype situations up, and she's a very good dog to use to get another dog used to being in the company of other dogs without reacting. I hope you enjoy the video, and if you've got any comments or questions, just stick them on there and I'll try and answer them. But hopefully you'll agree with me when you see it that the transformation is huge. It's not out of the woods yet. There's still a bit of work to be done, but the reports I'm getting are that every day she's getting better and better and better. So we're on the right track. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you've got a dog that's suffering from reactivity, give me a shout and we'll look at what's right for your dog. This method was right for this dog, might not be right for yours, but that's the beauty of having all different tricks available to you and not just being positive only, because when that doesn't work, there's nowhere else to go. Hope you enjoy the video, and I'll speak to you all soon. Doing this for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And she's picked it up straight away, and she's happy. If you look at her body language, that's beautiful. Like, she's having a look. There's people over there. She's having a look. That's fine. She's not reacting. So we're going to get her working. Willow, come. Let's go. Yes, good girl. Come on in. Let's go. Let's go. Then we're going to do that direction. What's this? Good girl. Yeah. She's happy. She's made a whole lot of progress in the last 10 minutes, basically, I think. Let's try again. Willow, come, come, come. Yes, 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 yes. That's a good girl. Yes, you are. Good, no correction at all. Good girl, good girl. Went a bit far, but we'll accept that. That's no problem. Willow. You tangled me up now, Willow. No, got a connection. Right, Willow. Ignoring me. Willow. Good girl. Tiny, tiny little correction. Good girl. Yes, you are. Come on. Now we're going to go back into like the directional change exercise. Come on in. That's it, Joe. That's it. Lovely correction, Joe. That's it. Keep going. Walk with a bit of purpose. Lovely stuff, mate. Let's do another pass, Joe. Get her on the same side as Florence. So put her on your left. That's it. That's progress, isn't it? So she's got nice body language. She's doing as you say. She's having a look at Florence. Florence is just there. And she's looking up to you, Joe, which is exactly what you want. And you've done exactly what I told you to do with the foot. You remembered that. I didn't have to. Oh, normally that's the thing I have to say. Is just put your foot in front, and what you're doing is you're just commanding the space in front of her. No, it's my space, Willow. It's not your space. It's my space, and you're not allowed into it. All right. So, you're a good girl, Willow. Are you happy, girl? Now, tongue out, ears up. Her tail's been wagging. Happy as Larry. Right, let's carry on. Now, those dogs are, what, 10 foot apart? She's looking up to you. She's not displaying any signs of nerves or anxiety. Her tail's out. She's happy. Florence has just done a disgusting burp. She's happy. They are... Joe, how far apart would you say these dogs are? 5 feet. If 2 meters. 6 foot? Well, they were until Florence did what she's taught to do, which is come to me. Come on. Come on. Come, Florence. Oh, good girl, Willow. Yes, you are. So I am probably 6 foot now from Joe. With Florence walking behind me, getting dizzy. Now, walking behind her would be something that might piss her off. But, like I said, looking, natural curiosity, fine. We're okay with that. She's a dog. We want her to look. They are... Joe, how far apart would you say these dogs are? 5 feet. That dog is not nervous or uncomfortable in this situation. No. See if she'll lay down for you, Joe. Perfect, Joe. Would this have been unthinkable a week ago for you? Strange place, strange people, strange dog. It's just because you've taken control, Joe. All you've done, mate, is you've just taken control and said, yes, we've used a training aid in the form of the prong collar, which you were happy with. But all you've done is take control, mate, and say, no, you're not doing that anymore, Willow. That's it. She's relaxed, so she's not getting any bad energy from Willow. But she wouldn't be doing that. She's lying on the floor with her back to her. And the dog that was threatened wouldn't be lying with their back to another dog. We don't want to push it and take the piss too much, but these dogs are probably, what, 4 foot apart? Wait. Yep. Perfect, Joe. Perfect time for praise, mate. That was really well timed. A lot of it is the timing. I'm going to come a bit closer now, Joe. Sit. Wait there. Looking up to you then, Joe. That's beautiful. Look, that's it. That's it, Joe. Shoulders back. Purposeful walking. You're the boss. Willow's not bothered. Florence isn't bothered. Joe's not bothered. All's good in the world.